So what are deferred annuities? At first it'll seem a little difficult, but if you can break it down into its components, different ways to calculate this, two different components, it's not that difficult. So what exactly is a deferred annuity? Well, the payments have not begun yet. They're delayed. So I'm entering into an annuity today, but it's not going to start paying those recurring payments for a number of years. So how do I value it today on my balance sheet? Think of it as a hybrid time value of money calculation. It has two parts. So the best way to solve for this is to create a timeline. That way you have a good visual. So looking at an example, on December 31st, 2014, you considered investing in a 6% 5-year annuity. The payments, those recurring $10,000 payments of the annuity, are not going to begin for 3 years, but I'm investing in it today. And what I invest today is going to compound annually, and there's going to be different components. The annuity portion is delayed. So what is it worth today? So if you see the beginning of 2015, you're going to invest in an annuity, and then in 2018, that's when it begins. So if you look at the red lines, those are the two components. So how do I solve for this? What is it worth today? Because what it's worth today is what ends up on my balance sheet. So think of it as two parts. It's two separate calculations. Now, is this an ordinary annuity or an annuity due? That's the next thing you want to ask yourself. Well, it depends. When is the first payment? Is it going to be January 1, 2018 or December 31st, 2018? So if it's at the beginning or at the end, that's what you need to identify. If it's at the beginning, you're going to use the annuity due tables. And if it's at the end, it's an ordinary annuity. So what does this mean? Well, let's treat this as if it's an ordinary annuity to solve for it, although you can solve using both tables. The first payment is at the end of the first period in 2018. So you're going to use PVA table. And the annuity timeline, that's going to be January 1, 2018 to December 31st, 2022. So remember, it has two parts. You're investing it today in 2015, but you need to know what it's going to be worth throughout the life of the annuity. And the present value of the annuity doesn't start for another 3 years. The present value of 1 you're going to use to solve for the first 3 years, and then that amount you treat as the present value of that annuity. So you have to start in the future. The first step is you're at the end of 2022 and you need to discount it or take it back to 2018. So what is the annuity portion? Think of this as two different components. N is 5, it's 5 years, and I is 6. So using the present value table, as of 2018, this annuity is worth about $42,000. But what's it worth in today's dollars in 2015? So that's where you need to use the other table. And how long is that one? It's still 6%, but it's 3 years. So you have a 3-year present value of 1 and then a 5-year present value of an annuity. So you take that amount you solved for the annuity, what it's worth in 2018, and discount it using the present value of 1 to get what it's worth today. So as of 2015, this deferred annuity is worth $35,368. Now, what if it's an annuity due? That means it's going to start in the beginning. The first payment is at the beginning of the period, so you're going to use the present value of an annuity due. And what is your annuity timeline? January 21 to December 31st. So you have 5 years, only you're using a different table. And again, it has two parts. So the present value of an annuity due, instead of 6 periods, now we have 5 periods, because you're thinking of it at the beginning. So now in 2018, using the annuity due, it's worth $44,651. And then you take that amount and bring it back to today, what it's worth today, and it's $37,490. So you're going to have different amounts based on whether it's an ordinary annuity or an annuity due. You can solve for it different ways.